Hey, welcome. Have you ever felt like your own kindness is being treated like a free-for-all? You try to be a good, helpful person, and somehow you just end up feeling used. Well, today we're going to dig into that. We're breaking down the paradox of powerless kindness and figuring out why being too nice can sometimes feel like a total trap.
So let's just start with a really direct question, something to keep in the back of your mind as we go through this. Is your kindness actually a weakness? It's a tough one, I know, but it's so important because it gets right to the very heart of this whole thing.
And that question leads us directly to something called the kindness paradox. This is that really frustrating situation where your genuine intention to be good and to be kind is somehow seen by others as weakness. And what happens? It actually makes you a target.
Okay, to really get a handle on this, we have to talk about the trap of just being nice. It's so important that we separate real, genuine kindness from what we're going to call powerless kindness. That's the version that's more about getting people to like you than it is about acting from a place of your own true values.
This right here shows the two paths so clearly. I mean, look, on the left, you've got powerless niceness. It's all about seeking approval, avoiding conflict at all costs. And where does it lead? Straight to burnout and feeling resentful. But then look over on the right. That's authentic kindness. See, this isn't about pleasing everybody else. It comes from a place of self-respect. It's something you give freely, not because you feel you have to. One just drains you, and the other, it truly empowers you.
Let's actually put a name on this thing. We're calling it the nice trap. And you know exactly what this is. It's that cycle where you're so busy trying to get approval from everyone else that you end up completely neglecting yourself. And that, of course, just leads to resentment and that awful feeling of being taken for granted.
This really brings us to the absolute core idea of this whole explainer. It's a really powerful, kind of stark quote from the source material. Kindness without strength is a target. Just let that sink in for a minute. It's not saying don't be kind, not at all. It's saying your kindness is precious and it needs to be protected with strength. So you might be thinking, if this trap is so bad for us, why on earth do we keep falling into it? Well, it's not some personal failure, okay? It's actually deeply, deeply human. So let's take a look at the psychology behind why we do this.
Turns out there are four main culprits here. First up, that gut punch of a feeling, the fear of disappointing other people. Then there's the deep, deep desire to avoid conflict at all costs. I mean, who actually likes confrontation, right? Then, of course, there's the need for external validation, that little hit of approval that feels so good. And finally, the really big one. We confuse being nice with being a good person. And trust me, they are not the same thing.
But here's the really fantastic news. There is a much better way, a powerful, effective, and way healthier alternative. We're calling it kindness with strength, and it's all about learning a new way of operating that honors you and other people. So what do we mean by that exactly? Kindness with strength is really all about balance. It's having the ability to be truly compassionate, truly helpful, but, and this is the absolute key, while also holding on to firm personal boundaries and a real sense of self-respect. You can be both. You can be kind and you can be strong. Okay, this makes it super practical. Check out that first situation. You're totally swamped with work, and your boss asks you to take on another project. The powerless nice response? It's that immediate yes, followed instantly by that sinking feeling of regret. But the kind but strong response? Something like, I'd love to help, but I can't take that on right now. Let's find another way to get it done. See the difference? It's helpful, it's respectful, but it's also firm. It honors them and you. So how do we actually build this skill? How do we build this muscle? Well, it's a practice for sure, and here's a 4-step roadmap to get you started. First, you have to identify your boundaries. What are your absolute non-negotiables? Second, you have to practice saying no gracefully. It's a real art form. Third, you have to start prioritizing your own self-respect. And finally, number 4, you act from a place of authenticity, not out of obligation. All right, so we've talked about the problem, we've talked about the solution. Now for what is, without a doubt, the most important part, taking all this insight and turning it into actual, real-world action, because this is where the real change begins. Look, if you only remember one single thing from our time together today, please let it be this. Your kindness is a virtue. It is a superpower. It is not a vulnerability. But like any superpower, it has to be protected, and you protect it with strength and with boundaries. And that brings us to my final thought for you.
This isn't just about learning some interesting idea. It's about changing how you move through the world. So I'm going to leave you with a question to really take with you. What is one boundary, just one small one, that you are going to set starting today?